Hello, Tarot lovers. This is Maje. This is your Tarotpolitan community host. And today we are going to look into a very sad subject for me, that is the passing away of Virginia Giuffre. For me, thanks to Virginia, finally there was some attention and something done about the Jeffrey Epstein case. Finally, because many victims, they report this case to the FBI, they report the case, but nothing was done about it. And finally, thanks to Virginia, something was done. It's very sad indeed to hear this news. I wish her to rest in peace. I wish that her children are safe and contained. And today I really want to have a look, because we have, I bet you have, I have, and many people have many questions around the death, the passing of Virginia Giuffre. In this reading, I'm going to concentrate of what had happened, let's say, just before her death. We are going to look at how Virginia Giuffre was after settling down with Prince Andrew in a court case, in a famous court case. We are going to look at how Virginia Giuffre and her husband were getting along. As far as I know, they had a court case for whether the custody or something about their marriage and their children. So we are going to look at that. We are going to look at the husband, Virginia Giuffre's husband. What is the energies around her death? How Virginia Giuffre was? What were her energies around her right before this happened? And what we can gather through a tarot analysis around her death. So stick around here, and I'm going to start by shuffling the cards. Okay, here we have an opening that is very sad, because we have the Five of Cups in the center, the Temperance and the World. The overall energy, the opening, is centered around Virginia Giuffre's energies. Here we have a Temperance. This is definitely the healing process that she was going through, whether coming out of hospitals. I think this was the therapy, but it's true that Virginia Giuffre was very sad, was very disappointed. And she may was contemplating something like that. But we have to count the overall, because the overall we have 14 and 5 is 19, plus 21 is 40. 40 is 4, is the Emperor. So the Emperor is the archetype of the father, the husband, the head of an organization, community, or business. And in this case, Virginia Giuffre was definitely very sad and very disappointed of her husband or some particular powerful man. I got the sensation that this may have to do with her husband. But let's look further. Okay, first of all, I want to ask about the accident. What is the energy around that accident? What was happening there? Okay, we have the Three of Swords in the past, the Six of Wands, and the Empress. This is about her. This is definitely about her. I will say that she was alone. She was alone when this happened, and there it was definitely a collision. It wasn't the bus track that was too fast, it was her that it was going too fast, with the Six of Wands here. 6, 9, 10, 12. But I don't think the bruises came from that accident, because we see an Empress here quite fine. I don't see. What I see is deep sorrows, deep disappointments that we have seen in the opening, and we can see here with the Three of Swords. And then with the Six of Wands, I think she was going a bit fast. The Six of Wands is definitely movement, and it can be movement fast in this, let's say, in these circumstances. Let's have a look now, and the total number is the 12. There was like the collision. I think Virginia was going a bit faster than normal, but the collision didn't have any repercussion on her, bad repercussion on her. I think, yes, something else happened. I don't think the bruises in the hospital came from this accident at all. But let's see why she was in the hospital. Okay, here we have something very intense, what is the Death card in the past, next to the Three of Swords. We have the Eight of Cups, and we have Virginia here as the Queen of Cups. This is all around her, but I think something very crucial happened to her for her to go to hospital. I don't think it was the accident. I think this came after. And the Cups is about liquids. The Eight of Cups and the Queen of Cups here is about liquids. It could be some kidney failure. Yes, definitely there. There were some stitches. There were contusions that has affected her bones. A sadness. Definitely around her was a lot of sadness. The Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups. Okay, now let's ask about the bruises. What were those bruises about? Okay, this is not the first time that she was having those bruises. I think it was the first time she came out with those bruises publicly. This is very important. Nine of Pentacles in the past, the Two of Wands, and the Magician. This was done by an individual and not by Virginia Giuffre. This was done by an individual. And the total number here is 12. 12 is the Hanged One. This was going on at least for a year or more. Let's ask who actually... There we got this person. This could be anyone, but who? My suspicion is obviously her husband. Look, the Lovers, the relationship, the Queen of Wands, this is her, the Two of Cups, this is definitely her. The bruises come from her husband. I don't have any doubt about it. It's done by an individual that has done it before. It was also around financial things, around money and financial things. And I think because the Nine of Wands is here and Giuffre is here as the Queen of Wands, I think she's been trying to defend, to be territorial about the house, the money, or something like that. A decision that she took about the relationship as well. The Lovers is obviously the relationship, but the Lovers also implies decisions, important decisions that had an impact on her relationship with, obviously, this must be her husband. It's not, I don't think it's anyone here for those bruises. Now, let's ask what, from the collision with the bus, from the hospital, from everything else, the bruises, the everything else, how was Virginia about all these things? Look, the Eight of Swords and the Six of Swords and the Sun. The Sun represent the children. The Eight of Swords, she was very scared, she was petrified, and she was very scared and petrified, particularly for her children. Her children were at the center of everything, and she wanted to run away or to escape, but the thing is the children. She couldn't go because of the children. All her plan was around her children. 19, 20, 25, 30, 33, 6, the Lovers. This is a double three. This is about her. This is about her motherhood. This is about her children. This is about moving away, going somewhere else. But she was, the cause, I would say, was like she was petrified. She couldn't fight anymore. It was like, I can't take this anymore, especially because of her children. Let me see. What I don't understand is Virginia was a fighter. Even that her whole life, she has been abused by different people in different occasions. And before she escaped the Epstein ring of peace, she fought for her life. She found a new life, a new marriage. I don't understand. I don't believe is that she unalived herself. I don't believe that. But because I see her as a fighter, and especially when you have 3 children and you want to protect them and you want to do something to protect or to help victims of this abuse, because this abuse destroy your life. Let's focus now on her court case. She had a court case coming about the custody of the children or the marriage. Let's ask first what that June date for the court was about. This is about her husband. The Knight of Swords is litigation, is fighting. She had hopes. She had hopes. She could fight this case. The star is there. The star is hopeful, is hoping for something against her husband, because the husband, this is definitely her husband, because he is the King of Cups, and the cups represent the home, represent the private life in a family. She was fighting him. I don't think it was the custody of the children, maybe, because the children are there, but she got definitely means to win or to have a fair case around her husband. This is another indication that Virginia Giuffre, I have my doubts that she unalived herself. I have a lot of doubts about that. Let's have a look at her husband, what her husband was preparing for this court case. You see, I have a Virginia Giuffre much more positive, optimistic about what is going to happen in this court case against her husband than her husband. Her husband is very disappointed, very sad. Again, the Four of Pentacles, Five of Cups in the past, Four of Pentacles in the present, and the Four of Cups in the future. The Four of Pentacles is something that he wanted to secure financially. The Five of Cups, he was definitely disappointed that she wanted maybe to disclose something about their relationship, their marriage. He was very disappointed about things that Giuffre was saying about him, or that she could have said. And it was about the security of something financial, that it was very much in the air. And he wasn't very, let's say, optimistic that he could win. And if we count the total, we have 9, 13. 13 is the death. For him, this means that this will be the end of their marriage, the end of their relationship, the end of many things. And he wanted to secure something financially. I don't trust this guy at all. Now, let's see how her husband, or let's call it Giuffre, feels about the passing of Virginia. We have the Hermit in the past, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Here is a lot of swords. Here I don't see feelings or emotions. What I see him is distancing himself, like quiet. He definitely got a purpose or a goal to achieve, something that he want to achieve. I would say like he got a purpose or a plan. But I have him very skeptical about everything, especially the finance, and very worried and very anxious about the future, with the Nine of Swords in the future. So here we have these two swords. That implies that there is a mental state more than an emotional state. And the total here, we have two nines. 9 and 9 is 18. We have the double 9, and the double 9 is the moon. And the moon, things are not very clear for him. Things are not very clear. Whether he is skeptical about her death, or whether he is skeptical about how things are going to turn out for him in the future. And the total number here, and the moon doesn't sound good because it's a confusion, but the total number here is 25-7. If somebody knows around any journalist that is investigating her husband, and if he's going to go anywhere, because I have like an exit. The total number here is 25. 25 is 7. 7 is the Chariot. The Chariot in this case could be that he got a direction out, or he's going somewhere. Let's carry on with her husband. Is he involved in her death? Is he got something to do with it? 7. Okay, we have the Ace of Wands, the King of Wands. Virginia Giuffre already have came up as the Queen of Wands. I think there were conflict and frictions between them, or fights, or abuse, or physical abuse, or something like that. But here is the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Cups. 7, 10, 11, 12. I think he is involved somehow because he is appearing in the reading. But the sensation I get from these three cards together and the outcome of it is the number 12 is the Hanged One. I think he could have some involvement, but it's not coming as clear. What I have is more that he didn't want to separate or divorce Virginia. I think this was her decision. I think this was something to do with her. I think he is somehow involved, or at least he is involved in the bruising that we saw in those pictures. I think he's definitely involved on that, because the Ace of Wands is this fire, this masculinity, and he's represented with that fire as well, with this masculinity, and offering the Knight of Cups, offering like, no. And the number 12, the Hanged One, is almost now, let's stay together, you stay with me. These kind of things I have. Let's have a look at Virginia now. Let's see how Virginia was thinking, feeling, her energy, her physical realm, her overall consciousness or spirituality, and the overall energy of her being. So let's start mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically and physically, overall consciousness, and let's count the total. Let's start mentally. Mentally, we have the Five of Swords. Yes, mentally she definitely was having, I would say, it can be like a mental breakdown, but Five of Swords can be separation, the cutting off. I think mentally she was thinking about her children, she was thinking about the separation with her children, and everything that it was going on with the separation with her husband, and all this that it was going on with that. But I see her, because she got the air in her mind, I see her awakened mentally. It wasn't like she was thinking about things. She was definitely thinking about the separate. She was definitely thinking about things. She was definitely, it could be that she was ruminating about it. But I would say that she was mentally clear about what was going on with her and her children and her marriage. Emotionally, she had the Eight of Pentacles, so she was working on herself emotionally. Or I would say that the sensation I get that somehow she was trying to work on her emotions. The Eight of Pentacles is about working on something in particular. Her emotions was around that, about grounding herself, securing herself, providing something emotional. I think she didn't want to lose, let's say, her mind or to be deep in sorrow. I think she wanted to improve her emotions and her feelings. Then, in her energy, we have the Ten of Pentacles. I think she wanted to feel secure, safe. The Ten of Pentacles is about that. It's about trust. It's about security, stability, property. You know, the walls that we create to feel secure around us. So energetically, and then we have Earth and Earth. I think she wanted to feel secure. Then in her physique, yes, in her physical body, there was the Tower. There was a commotion, a physical commotion. There was a breakdown in her physique. There was a shock in her physique. And then in her spirituality, or let's say consciousness, she got the Seven of Cups. Okay, I don't see, this is not the energy of somebody who want to unalive themselves, because the Seven of Cups is the illusion of things, is opportunities and choices, things that we want to attain. And the Seven implies many things: peace, security, stability, her family, her children, her home. I see a Virginia Giuffre that she wanted to, I wouldn't say like she was like in a moment of feeling strong and like a fighter, but I see a Virginia Giuffre that she was envisioning or visualizing a better future for herself and her children. And then at the center of the energy, we have the Wheel of Fortune. I see a Virginia that she wanted to move forward with her life in whatever circumstances. For this reading that we have here, I don't think she did unalive herself. I don't think so. Okay, for me, so far, her husband is the prime subject. But let's see further. Let me ask something. Was Virginia Giuffre alone when this happened? Oh, what we have here, my friends, the Eight of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the King of Swords. Fire, fire, and the air, the King of Swords. The Eight of Wands is something unexpected, and the Four of Wands is a return, a comeback, and then the King of Swords can represent the archetype of the husband or somebody that you have a legal commitment with this person. I see a man. I definitely see a man, and I see a man that came uninvited, unexpected, and it was very quickly. It came, but it was like very quickly. But just to clear the air, you know, because obviously the more I look into this, the more I'm suspecting for him. But let me ask. Here is definitely a figure, it's a male figure that she could have some sort of connection with. But let's see how Virginia saw this person around her at this moment. The Emperor. Okay, the Emperor. This is definitely a male figure. It can be seen as the archetype of the husband and the father, but also can be a powerful figure. And then we have the Page of Wands and the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is linked to family, and the Page of Wands is something that happened. And with the fire that we see here, we definitely have something that happened very quickly. The sensation I have is this person was insisting or pushing forward for them to go back together. Let's do treatment, let's do therapy, because 10 and 4 is 14, and 14 is the Temperance. Let's do treatment, let's heal, let's take care of ourselves, something like that. But just to discard any other possibility, let's ask, was anyone else involved that it wasn't her husband? Here we have the Wheel of Fortune, things that we cannot control, external factors that we cannot control. Virginia Giuffre, look, the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords. Virginia Giuffre as the Queen of Swords. This could be two that have legal litigation or legal connotations, and then the Four of Swords. For sure, Virginia Giuffre was threatened externally, that it wasn't at home. This is for sure, from powerful people. That is for sure. But what I have here, because it's linked to this person here, and I think Virginia Giuffre wanted to be quiet. I think she wanted to be out of the picture, in the sense of, for example, I would say for the external factors that she couldn't control, she has shielded herself legally. I think for these external factors, she has protected herself. But the person she had a legal problem with, there is legal connotations here, legal issues. And the one that we know at the moment was her husband. And then she wanted to be left alone, left quiet, leave me alone, leave me alone. This is what I sense from her. And then the total here was the star. The star is connections, communications, that they are far away. They are not close to her. Let me ask something. Was Virginia Giuffre suing, accusing anyone else? That it wasn't, obviously, Jeffrey Epstein or Prince Andrew. Was he taking to the court somebody else? Look, we have the Three of Wands, the Two of Swords, and the Strength in the number 11. So here we have, she thought about it, because she have received death threat, the Wheel of Fortune, the things that she cannot control, with the 3, 10, and 3, 13, the death. She thought about it, but at the moment she wanted to go quiet, because the Two of Swords is, if I carry on with this, she wanted to take a very important person, or 3 of them. I think she wanted to carry on, but I think she wanted to recover herself maybe from her personal life. I'm like 50-50, because for me the first one is her husband. The second person is people that we don't know, that is not Jeffrey Epstein or the Prince Andrew, that they are very powerful too. And we have The total number here is the Tower. The sensation I have is Virginia Giuffre wanted to sort out her personal life, the Two of Swords. She was in between two things, whether to accuse these people, these powerful people, too, or but she had a doubt because she was with another legal issues, probably with her husband. I don't think she was doing anything like that at the moment. She wanted to recover herself to carry on maybe later. And the total number here is 16, the Tower. I think she got this commotion. The Tower was coming here, and this commotion, she was like, this is not the best. The Two of Swords, it could be doubts in this case, but I think the sensation I get is like, now is not the time. So I'm gonna repeat this. For me, the first suspect, or the person that should be investigated first, is her husband, and the second person is powerful people that maybe she wanted also to take to court. Swords and swords. She wanted also to accuse. There is kind of like this 50-50. But I don't believe that Virginia Giuffre has unalived herself. I don't see that in the energy around her. But you never know. We just speculate. Okay, I think we have to wait. We have to wait till we have more information. I saw an interview with the attorney, with the lawyer that Virginia Giuffre had against Jeffrey Epstein, against Prince Andrew, that Piers Morgan has done in his program, in his channel. That is a very interesting interview. Katie Halper also have done an interview recently with a journalist, I think that it was close to Virginia Giuffre. That is also very interesting. Also there is from Australia the Vintage Read Show. That is interesting. If you find her view on this happening, I think now the time is to wait for investigations or to see. I don't understand why the media goes so quickly to say that she unalived herself. I don't believe it. Nobody believes it. There has to be an investigation before you confirm that. So let's hope for the time to go by, and there hopefully could be an investigation on her case. If you have any questions, because I think this case should have many questions, if you want me to read for the case of Virginia Giuffre, please let me know. I will be very happy to do it. I think this is the reading for today. I just want to remind you that we have reached 100 subscribers. Subscribe to my channel. I'm giving 10 card, highly personalized, free email reading. If you win the contest, is a giveaway to say thank you for these 100 stars. So if you want to participate, subscribe and go to our channel, to our post page, and put your name down. This full moon, I'm doing a live on Monday, 12th of May, and I will reveal the winner of this giveaway. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for commenting, for liking, for sharing this video, for participating, for collaborating with me, for being supportive of this channel, for being part of this channel. Thank you very much. And I see you all in the next video. Mwah.